What is,
Suction.
on Google, the production of a partial vacuum by the removal of air in order to force fluid, gas, oxygen, any medium into a vacant space or procure adhesion. So that right there creates and produces
Suction.
the production of a partial vacuum by the removal of air in order to force fluid into a vacant space or procure adhesion. Now, scientism, which is not real science, it is the opposite of science, which proves things through physical and observable reality demonstrations. Scientism does not want you to equate the definition of
Suction.
the production of a vacuum by the removal of air in order to force fluid into a vacant space or procure adhesion. Now, outer space would be that vacant space, and any fluid, matter, or medium, gas, and oxygen would fill that vacant space and procure adhesion to it. They don't want you to equate this fact with the infinite and expanding vacuum universe because that debunks it. The second law of thermodynamics, entropy, the expansion of gas, debunks outer space. Now, I know outer space is fun. I still watch Star Wars, Halo, The Mandalorian. I still do, but I know at the same time it's fake. It is an area that does not exist. It is akin to the Land of Oz or Narnia. Vacuums produce suction, and it is not outside pressure, 14.7 psi, pushing a suction cup to a window or any surface. It is the production of a vacuum to procure adhesion. It's right here.
Suction.
Let's hear it again.
Suction.
What is
Suction.
the production of a partial vacuum by the removal of air in order to force fluid into a vacant space or procure adhesion? It doesn't get any plainer than this. I know this can be painful. I know many of you have wasted thousands learning a lot of stuff that is not applicable in life now. It isn't. Outer space cannot be an infinite and expanding vacuum universe. Vacuums cannot expand. They have to be made with a container. Once contained, they cannot expand. Anything other than that is illogical. It is theoretical. And if something is a theory, it is such because it cannot be demonstrated. A theory is comprised of supposition, general principles, and facts. But you must remember that those general principles and facts are and must be independent of whatever they're trying to prove. And that is the definition of theory. Theory, supposition, with general principles and facts that are independent of that which are to be proven. That's why they're a theory, because they cannot be demonstrated. Science, real science, proves things, either this or that. Scientism is all your theoretical nonsense that can't be demonstrated, or they scribble stuff on a chalkboard. It cannot be demonstrated in physical observable reality. There's no natural phenomena. So they make it up. Now, suction is produced by a vacuum. There is no way in reality that whatever is beyond the gas and oxygen of our skies, that it could be an infinite and expanding vacuum. That vacuum would expand right into Earth. They want you to believe that the Earth in its entirety is directly next to, surrounded by, and within an infinite and expanding vacuum universe billions of light years across. And worse, that the Earth is hurtling around the sun and through the galaxy, and the galaxy is hurtling through the universe at millions of miles an hour. As if to say, well, the Earth is shielded. It's running right into this vacuum, and the vacuum is itself expanding and never has contact with the gas and oxygen atmospheres of the Earth. The only thing that can stop gas and oxygen from filling the available volume of a vacuum is a barrier. You must separate them. They cannot maintain any equilibrium, integrity, harmony. They cannot be together, not in any proximity or vicinity. The gas and oxygen will fill the vacuum. And we have now learned why the gas and oxygen will fill the vacuum. If there is no container, separator, or divider, the vacuum will suck the gas and oxygen in. I'm sorry. Yes, that's hard to accept, but here it is. What is
Suction.
the production of a partial vacuum? Let's do it this way. The production of a partial vacuum by the removal of air in order to force fluid into a vacant space or procure adhesion. Okay? Now, Google has betrayed you. They are telling you what suction is, how it's produced. But, on the other hand, you are expected not to equate this with the infinite and expanding vacuum universe they teach you about. If outer space were an infinite and expanding vacuum universe 90 plus billion light years across, it would produce massive suction that would destroy the earth and all matter. The suction would be so powerful no orbit could be maintained. All the water on the earth, the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans and Great Lakes, would bubble and boil away and be lifted up into the vacant space. It doesn't get any plainer than this. Outside pressure isn't doing anything, nor is it mentioned here. You must face reality. Now you can lie and put all your nonsense and your appeal to authority fallacies. Outer space is debunked. The second law of thermodynamics, entropy, debunk it. Physical observable reality that gas and oxygen will always fill the available volume of a vacuum is right here and why. The only way to stop that is with a divider or separator. You must contain the gas and oxygen, and it is illogical to believe a vacuum can expand because something at nowhere and no time exploded, and some fictitious supernatural force power thing called gravity assembled the earth, the stars, the sun, and everything. Vacuums can only be made in a container. You need a container. Once it is contained, it cannot expand beyond the container. And if by some magical, theoretical way a vacuum could expand, it would expand right into your atmospheres of Earth and consume them. Now, in conclusion, what is
Suction.
the production of a partial vacuum by the removal of air, not air pushing down or doing anything. Air, the removal of air in order to force fluid, matter, any medium, gas and oxygen, into a vacant space. Or procure adhesion like with a suction cup. Your model is debunked. You must face reality. Do it now.